All right, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of For the City. So, surprising weekend for both teams.
You know it.
It came out. I was surprised more than anybody else because I expected both teams to lose. I thought Cincinnati was going to run Cleveland off the field. I was wrong. And I thought the Raiders were going to run the Giants off the field. I was extremely wrong with that game. So let's kick it off with the Browns game first. With all the Odell and all the hubbub that went on with Odell Beckham and him running off the team and them, buying out, releasing him or putting him on waivers, everybody thought that maybe it was going to be a distraction for the game against Cincinnati, and boy, were they wrong. You guys just put a hurting on Cincinnati, took him to the woodshed. I mean, you had Chubb running for 70-yard touchdowns. You had Baker throwing 60-yard touchdown bombs. The defense stepped up. It was a great game to see. Did you think getting rid of Odell in that locker room helped the team start coming together a little bit better?
Absolutely, man. I think, again, this is the second week in a row I'm saying I couldn't be happier to be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I thought our team was, I just thought just with the distractions, with everything going on, just the way they took that L the week before that, I'm like, I thought that was it, man. I thought this was going to be the nail in the coffin and basically our season was going to be a wash. But it just shows the resiliency, man, of Baker, of the team, of everybody. And like you said, it just – I hate to put it all on Odell. Again, I'm not an Odell hater. I'm not a Baker hater. I'm a Browns fan, and I wish the best for Odell. I wanted it to succeed, but the reality was the dude just didn't click with Baker. And for whatever reason it was, maybe the way he ran routes, maybe Baker didn't like throwing to him, whatever. It just wasn't clicking. And when he's not on the field, he just plays better. He plays freer. And I think the team, obviously, their headspace had to be messed up all week. But once it got to game week, once it got too close to the game, I think they kind of just said, you know what, let's just show everybody, everybody putting us down, chips are down, they're counting us out. And that just shows me that Stefanski's definitely a great head coach. You know what I'm saying? As much as he pisses me off with play calling and things like that sometimes, he's still a really good head coach because he kept the team together, he kept the locker room together, and everybody seems to be on the same page. They all want to win, man. So it was surprising. I thought, like I said, I was pleasantly surprised that I was wrong. And, it was just a complete game. It was the first complete game they played all year. The defense played great. The offense played good. The special teams was there. So there was no facet that wasn't clicking last week. So, man, kudos to them, man. I'm just so happy they came in. And your team, you know what I'm saying? I know we're talking about the Browns, but it's so funny how our teams are running back and forth like parallel, they're doing the same thing.
It's
surprising everybody.
It's pretty surprising everybody with the way they're playing. But the Browns, Baker actually played a very solid game. Defense stepped up. Myles Garrett is doing what Myles Garrett does. But your offense was a well-oiled machine in that game. Baker, I didn't think Baker could throw the ball that far down the field with his arm the way it is. He threw an absolute bomb. For that touchdown, and then Chubb's doing what Chubb is an absolute animal, man.
Yeah,
the guy's a beast. He's one of the best in the game at doing what he does. But I think all around it was an all-around performance by the Browns. They just obliterated the Bengals in that game, which I didn't think they were going to do because they were on the road. They were in Cincinnati. The Bengals were, trying to bounce back after that devastating loss to the Jets. I thought it was going to be like a get-right game for them. And it turned out to be the total opposite of that game.
And you know what? Baker's 3-0 against Burrow. So, he likes playing in Cincinnati. And like I said, that offense you saw, that game that you saw, it makes me so happy. And like I said, we've had all this talk about Baker this, Baker that, all the haters and everything like that. And still, even still after what he did and even after the victory, people still trying to critique his game. Well, he only completed 14 passes and da-da. But if you watch the game, if you actually pay attention to what was happening in the game,
it's the efficiency.
Exactly. He had the highest percentage ranking quarterback of that week. So out of all the quarterbacks that played, he had the highest, PFF ranking, meaning he was the most efficient. He had the highest QBR because he was making throws. And he was putting the ball on the money, man. That throw to Donovan Peoples on the sideline, man, where he got smacked, that throw was perfect. And the one he threw to Bryant, the tight end, just over the reach of a linebacker, I mean, this is the stuff Baker can do. And when he is playing free and playing the way he wants to play, that's the Baker that I expect to see. Well, that's what I expected to see all year.
If you see the parallels, last year when Odell went down, they played free and loose. If you look at the game, he spread the ball out evenly to everybody. Nobody had more than 3 catches in that game, I believe. But he spread the ball out evenly, and people were there to play. There was a clip that they showed where I think it was Chubb and him standing next to each other. And Odell was like, man, I want to score a touchdown. And Chubb was like, man, I just want to win.
Right.
That's all you need. That's all you needed to see. I think, don't get me wrong. Odell was a superstar. And people think Odell's been in the league a long time. I think he's only been in the league 7 years. He hasn't been in the league that long, but he's been injured so much, you know what I mean, that he hasn't been able to get into a flow like he would have. He might go somewhere else and shine because you're going to have somebody that's going to need that star receiver, and he can do that. The Browns don't do that. That's not the type of football the Browns play. It's not about one person. The Browns play in the AFC North is grinded out football. It's punch you in the mouth, run the ball down your throat, open up the offense, and that's exactly what happened. And your boy, Mr. Glass, came back with a 99-yard interception touchdown, running back 99 yards. I know that surprised you, right?
I caught heat for that. Don't get me wrong, man. I caught a lot of heat. A lot of people was telling me, "What about Denzel?"
Yeah,
I'm gonna put it like this, man. Being availability is the best ability. If you ain't available and you out missing games, it doesn't even matter. I mean, yes, when he's healthy and he plays, he's a decent cornerback. And he can do that kind of stuff. But can he do it back? I mean, I thought he was out the game again later in the game. I'm like, oh, here he got up limping. I'm like, oh, here we go. And but don't get me wrong, man. I love being proven wrong and being shut up about stuff. But the reality is, I want to see that happen for 3-4 games in a row. You know what I'm saying? Like his rookie year, he balled out, man. He had, he was one of the best corners his rookie year because he was healthy, but he's just a frail body corner. You know what I'm saying? It's just tough. He can't take too many hits. So as long as he keep playing coverage, that's all he need to do. He need to stay away from the running backs. Don't tackle any tight ends. keep your head out of there. He'll be all right. But no, man, like I said, the defense. Miles got a sack. Our boy Hill, he had 3 sacks as a cornerback. And credit to Joe Woods, man. That was a perfect defensive game plan, man. He came in there, he blitzed when he needed to blitz. He played coverage the way he needed to play coverage. And I knew, Jamar Chase, he was doing his thing. He was up on, he was feeling good, up on his high horse. And the minute he fumbled that ball and had another drop ball, I'm like, okay, he's done. His confidence was shook. And those deep balls that he dropped late in the game, I told my father, I said, hey, man, this dude ain't got it right now. He shook this week. So now is it going to be like that every week?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Not with Jamar Chase. No, he's too talented to let that, continue to stay in his head. It happens. You're going to have games where you're off like that. But the Browns defense was relentless that game. But switching gears and proving yourself wrong, I was absolutely flabbergasted with the Giants game against the Raiders. I really thought the Giants were going to get blown out late in that game. Remember, I told you first half they would keep it close, which they did. They kept it really close. I didn't think they were going to pull it off, man. They pulled that defense was lights out. Absolutely lights out. McKinney, that was my MVP of the game.
Yeah. Intercepted
one for a running back for, I believe, 69 yards for a touchdown return and then he intercepted again later on in the game. It's pretty much to seal it for the Giants for the win. It's crazy, man. I didn't think they were going to be able to pull this game off. Now, I will tell you, McKinney was fabulous in that game. Danny Fumbles is still Danny Fumbles.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy, he still cannot hold on. I don't understand what the issue is that he still can't hold on to the ball. I don't know what's going on. He reminds me of Tiki. When Tiki ultra talented, and Tiki was just fumbling everything until they brought somebody in to teach him how to hold on to that ball. And once he started holding on to that ball, Tiki never fumbled the ball. You know what I mean? They need to bring somebody in to teach this kid how to hold on to the football, man. I mean, it can be detrimental. Now, did he make some timely throws and some big throws? Yes. That touchdown that he threw Ingram, honestly, that should have been an interception. If you look at that play, they got lucky on that touchdown. I'm just going to look back at that play. Look back at that touchdown to Ingram in that game. That should have been intercepted. Point blank, period.
Yeah. Well, what they say is when those throws do go through and they do make it into, you know what I'm saying? They go, wow, what an amazing throw. And I mean, you can get away with that when you got a really good arm like he does. He's got a super talented arm.
He's got a big arm, yes.
And so you can kind of get away with those things. But the fumble thing, you can't, that's not excusable, man. I mean, those things can be costly, you know what I'm saying? And it's a mechanics thing, you know what I'm saying? It's just how you hold the ball when you're in the pocket and when you're rolling and things. So, I mean, is it something that's just going to stick with them? Like you said, can you bring in somebody? Like I know the Browns had did that one time for a quarterback, and about, even with Baker, they brought in old boy to talk about his footwork and everything like that. So, I mean, it's possible. That's not something that he can't get fixed. He's only been in the league a few years now. He's still pretty young. But yeah, no. I mean, dude, I can't say nothing more, man. The Giants defense is playing like they were at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're playing amazing.
Offense is still anemic, though. Offense is still anemic. Still anemic. The MVP, you know who the MVP of that team is? Believe it or not. You want to take a guess? Their kicker.
I'm assuming that I said the kicker.
No, seriously.
Oh, Gano's been balling. Yeah.
Look at his stat line. Look at his stat. The dude is almost automatic every time. Yeah. Almost automatic every time. He missed one field goal in that game, but he's almost automatic every time. The dude's gonna have more points in the league than the rest of the teams combined by himself, because the Giants can't score touchdowns. He has to kick field goals for them. So he's their MVP. I'm telling you, he's the reason that they stay in games, man. Because this dude's kicking them from 45, from 50, 55. Like, he's keeping them in games. He's their MVP of the year. Listen, I was impressed the fact that they won that game going into the break. Was it a spectacular game? Absolutely not. Did they get it? Did they get the W that they needed? Yes, to gain a little bit more momentum. Sure. Going into the break, you know what I mean? They're going in with confidence. They've been playing well the last couple games. They've lost heartbreakers. I believe they lost 3 games, 3 out of 4 games after having the lead in the fourth quarter and blowing the lead and losing. This was one of the first games that they haven't done that. So don't get me wrong. Was I happy they won? Absolutely. They surprised me. I'm glad every time the Giants win. But like I said before, I will not change my stance on this. I am a realist. People need to pump the brakes. Their offense is anemic. They cannot score touchdowns. They average 1 touchdown a game. 1. The rest of the times they're accumulating their points with field goals. You understand where I'm coming from? Bradbury's been playing much, much better. Much, much better. He's been defensive plays, you know what I mean? He's been breaking up passes. Yeah. So he's starting to earn his money. But if they still can't score the ball, man. You're scoring you're averaging 1 touchdown a game. That's not going to win. That's not going to get you victories, man. That's not going to get you victories.
I guess the statement is just more or less who they beat. They beat a Raiders team that was coming in hot. They won the last 2 in a row. And, that offense that the Raiders have is good. And their defense is really good. So for them to go and win the way that they won, it says a lot about the team. And, you know what I'm saying? Again, it may be a little too little too late. You know what I'm saying? They kind of dug themselves into a hole. But, like you said, I think just because you said, like, their offense isn't really great, and who knows if they can kick it in a gear later in the year, I still think my early prediction about them finishing about 500 is still kind of what I think they'll be. I think they're still about a 500 team. It's just a tough stretch, you know what I'm saying? Now they got to get back into their divisional games. And, Philly's playing hot now. And Dallas just took an L. You know what I'm saying? They just laid an egg. So, but no. Yeah, and it's something where, like I say, once they get healthy, we'll see what it is. You know what I'm saying? Once they get their line fully healthy, and Barkley's fully healthy and everything like that, then I guess we'll see what they really got. So like I said, the receivers got to step up, man. They got to make plays. They got to catch the ball, and that's kind of what it is, man.
So for me, it was a good game. It was a good victory. Makes them feel good going into the break. They might pick up some steam, but you're gonna run into a buzzsaw right after. And we'll preview that game. We'll preview that game next week because the Giants are off. They're in a bye week. What I want to do is I want to shift gears because you boys might have some trouble coming up this week because Chubb is out. He's got I believe one of the coaches tested positive for COVID-19,
and Felton.
But they said that they're fully vaccinated. So if they come up with 2 tests negative, that they'll be able to play because they're not holding the vaccinated players 10 days out. Like they would for somebody who's unvaccinated. So the chances are that he might play if he can come up with a negative test because he's already vaccinated. But I'm not 100% positive that's going to happen. So
something I heard, I was listening to the other day, they were saying like they this year, nobody this year who's been in this same situation where they were vaccinated and tested positive at the beginning of game week was able to come and play. Like, I don't know if it's just because of the way the timing of the testing is or whatever. It's like we basically have to count on him not being in it, him and Felton being out. That's basically what we're looking at right now.
So what's going on with Kareem Hunt?
Yeah, he's eligible, man. He's eligible to come back. I honestly haven't heard much. They haven't really talked about it. I mean, I don't know if they're going to rush him back or not. I mean, knowing the Browns mentality, how the coaches think, they think it's next man up. That's always their motto. They saw what they got out of Johnson last time he started, which, again, I like Johnson a lot. I think he's a great back. But you're going against a Belichick defense, man. And when you're going against a Belichick defense, that dude is the master of scheming and everything. He knows how to take away what you do best. So if we come in the game knowing that we want to establish the run like we do, he's going to take away the run. Now, if we had Chubb and Hunt, that'd be a little bit more difficult. I feel a little bit more confident with Johnson. I mean, can he still do his thing? Maybe, but Belichick's going to be ready for that, man. He's going to come in there scheming to make Baker beat them.
Right, but you guys, both your squads mirror each other record-wise. You guys, I mean, the only difference is there's a rookie quarterback playing for Belichick.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you my prediction for this game. Brown's going to eat that boy up. He's not going to be ready for that D. He's just not. He's not going to be ready for that defense. It's going to be one of these games where they just did to the kid from Cincinnati. They're gonna come at this kid with everything that he's not gonna be ready for. He's a rookie. If you notice, technically Burrow to me is still a rookie because he was out last year because of the leg injury. So technically to me this is like his rookie year. Okay, because he was out his rookie. He got injured. He was gone for the entirety of the year. You had Chicago. You had their rookie quarterback. You had Burrow. Now you have Mac Jones that you're going against on Sunday. Man, they're going to eat this kid up. I don't care what scheme Belichick runs. You have to stop the defense, okay? Mac Jones is a traditional type quarterback. Big, stocky guy, but he's not a runner. You know what I mean? He's a stand in the pocket passing quarterback. And if he stands it too long, Browns defense going to eat him up.
Yeah, and that kind of plays into our hands. Like, my biggest fear is that our defense against mobile quarterbacks is lacking. Like, I was really surprised Burrow didn't use his legs a lot. He started to at the end of the game, which kind of made me a little worried. I mean, we had it in hand, but once he started scrambling a little bit more and using his legs, our defensive ends they pursuit, man. They come up the field and they come hard, and if it just leaves those lanes open for quarterbacks to roll out. So I don't think we're going to have – I agree with you. I don't think we're going to have a problem with Jones. I think he's going to be – he's going to have a long day. I think he's going to have a long day. I don't know if JOK is going to be back for this game or not. He's eligible to come back too. If we have him back and the way our defensive ends have been playing with Clowney and Garrett just playing out of this world, I agree with you. I think, that's one side of the ball. I think it reminds me like the Pittsburgh game. I'm not worried about what – the Pats offense is going to do because they're not going to put up 30, 40 points on us and nothing like that. My biggest fear, and it'll get into my keys to victory too, is what we do on our side of the ball when we got it. And that's the thing that's going to make the difference in the game. So
I'm going to give you my keys to victory, then I'll take it over to you, and then you can close us out with what you think the Brownies are going to do. So for me, this game is going to come down to the defense. That's going to be my key to victory for this game, is whether the Browns can put defense on Mac Jones. Mac Jones is not a mobile quarterback. He's a pocket passer, and the Browns have no problems getting to a pocket passer. Now, the question comes in is if they scheme differently, if they know the Browns are going to attack them, are they going to run two tight end sets like the Patriots love to do? You know what I mean? Are they going to take advantage of those slant throws where, you have Garrett coming from one side, and if JOK plays, you have him coming from the other side, and then, you know what I'm saying, they just throw the slant out and then take off, because the Browns seem to be very susceptible to that slant.
Yeah,
they press and they go in, and when they go in, that leaves those side receivers open for them to yards after catch if they catch the ball. So my keys of victory for the Browns is going to be that defense to step up and make the day a nightmare for Mac Jones, which I think that he's a rookie. The Browns this season have shown that they can handle rookie quarterbacks. So my keys of victory is stopping Mac Jones, making sure that you wreak havoc, sacks, break up passes, things of that nature. And then on the other side of the ball, run game. Chubb's going to be out. So you have to establish that run game early to open up the offense. So if Chubb is out, if Hunt comes back, fine. If he doesn't, Johnson needs to step up like he did against the Denver game, and he needs to put his foot on the gas, and they just got to keep it going. So those are my two key victories to the game. I have them winning this game. It's going to be a close one, but I have it 24-21 Browns.
Okay. Yeah, so similarly, I have three keys right now. So number one and foremost, and this is to me the biggest thing that always stands out for us, is the turnovers. We were +3 in the turnover last week. Anytime we're positive in the turnover battle, we end up winning the game, especially if we don't turn the ball over. Mm-hmm. So like I said, we've only had one loss when we didn't turn the ball over, and that was this year against the Chargers. So I feel like that's it right there, man. That's it in a nutshell. Like I said, I'm more concerned about what Belichick's teams and his defenses for years have been predicated on: turning the ball over, getting short fields and things like that. If Baker doesn't turn the ball over, if our guys don't fumble and hold on to the ball, even last week, Chubb fumbled the ball, which was like, had a heart attack for a second. Thank God we fell on it. But you know what I'm saying? We just got to keep the ball. Don't turn the ball over, especially don't turn it over in red zone areas. The other thing is, don't overthink it, man. I think Stefanski had the best day ever calling games last week. I think he didn't, when it's there, when they press up and you got Donovan Peoples and you got a guy like him that can go downfield, throw the ball downfield. Just lay it out there and let him do it. If you got people playing off, run the ball. I mean, he called a great game, and I think when he gets into these crazy formations and motions and things like that and try to overthink things and be super creative, like, yeah, throw a trick play. I guarantee you we're going to throw a trick play. Mark my word. Put it on the books right now. We're going to throw one trick play in there because it's been a little while. And I think every time we play the Patriots, you got to throw a wrinkle in there sometimes. But don't overthink it. Like you said, run the ball. We got a good line. Our line's going to do their job. We just got to control the ball. And then pressure Jones, like you said. That was my other one. You just got to make sure Garrett, Clowney, all those dudes up front, you ain't got to do much, man. All you got to do is get in his face, pressure him. He'll turn the ball over. He's a rookie. He's already been predicated doing that too. So those are my keys right there. I got it Browns 28, Pats 17. I think we're going to get some turnovers again like we did last week. I think we got the blueprint right there, man. The team is very similar. I mean, I guess they don't have as much talent as Cincinnati has, especially on the outside. I mean, Hunter Henry, that tight end, he's a beast. So we do have trouble with tight ends, but there's no way this team has more offensive talent than Cincinnati has. So that being said, I see the game being 28-17, Browns pulling it out.
All right, so those were your keys to victories from Chef Boy. So listen, parting shots for me is, Odell, you got what you wanted. You were going to be a free agent because I don't think anybody's going to pick him up on the waiver. He's going to go to wherever he wants to go. This is going to be I honestly believe this is going to be his last shot to actually prove himself. And to me, he's a good player, but he's a toxic player. And the reason I say he's a toxic player, because it's all about him. You know what I mean? It's all about him. It's not about team. It's always been about him. Even when he was with the Giants and the Giants had an opportunity to beat Green Bay, he decided to go to Miami with the rest of the wide receiving core and F up when they come back, and nobody could catch passes in that game. And when they had an opportunity to. So it's one of those deals where hope it works out for him. He had a good part of his career in New York, and he didn't do anything in Cleveland except for the 1 year. And hopefully he can stay healthy, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't see him staying healthy. So, but he got what he wanted. He's out. Free OBJ shirts. They can stop wearing them because he's free now. So hopefully he can prove it was worth him getting released and going somewhere else to try to put up some numbers.
Yeah, my parting shot, I got two. One that really that means a lot to me about after this last week and everything that happened is, and I wish I could say this to them directly one day, media, all the pundits, all the ESPN dudes, take your medicine, man. Take your medicine. Just say you were wrong and eat it. You know what I'm saying? It drives me crazy that I still, after what all he did, doesn't, like I said, Baker gonna be wrong no matter what. If he come out and do a great game, he's still gonna have haters. It ain't never gonna be enough. People talk, he didn't throw for 400 or 500 yards. He didn't have that great of a game. He only had this many completions. And some of them are NFL people. Like the one show with Wiley and Acho, the linebacker dudes, and the other guy Wiley's been hating on Baker for the entire season. He's just like, he didn't do nothing. He did it. He just let Chubb, did what he did. Okay, so Chubb has a great game. Baker has just as equally a great game. Throws for 2 touchdowns, no picks, beautiful throws all game. And you talking about him not putting up 400, 500 yards. It's like, what does this man have to do? What do you expect him to do? Throw 500 yards and rush for 200 yards? Like, there ain't enough time in the game to do all this. And it's just, it's sad to me. It's these dudes just don't want to get off the narrative. They already, they're going to live and die on the hill that says that Baker's trash. Until he proves them wrong, until he goes to a Super Bowl, it's going to be Baker's not the guy. And so my thing is, I hope all those dudes take their medicine next week. If he does it against the Pats, they got nothing to say. If he comes out here, throws for 250, another 2 TDs, don't turn the ball over, and we win, what they gonna say now? The next thing you know is gonna be like, well, Baker could be this. Like, nah, man. Just take your medicine. You was wrong. It was Odell. Whatever the reason may be, whether it was the chemistry, whatever you want to call it, toxicity, whatever. It was Odell. I mean, flat out. He's gone. We play better. Simple as that. And then my other thing is just like, I was going to ask you, like, can you believe what's going on in the NFL, man? I mean, the Bills lost. They got beat by the Jags. You got the Cowboys getting mollywopped by Denver. You got, who else? There was a couple other games that were surprise L's this week. I'm trying to think who the other one that was like a surprise. I think the Saints did win. No, the Falcons beat the Saints. It's like, it's so much parity in the NFL right now. It's crazy, man. Any team can win on any given week.
And you have whole divisions that are 500. You have whole divisions that are hovering around 500. The AFC North is around 500. The only team that's got 2 losses is the Ravens. But in all reality, I don't think the Ravens are that good. Right. And I'll tell you why I don't think they're that good. They should have lost. They should have lost a couple games this year. It's Lamar Jackson, man. You got to give the guy credit. To me, he's the MVP of the league right now. The guy's he's doing everything. He's doing everything for Baltimore. You know what I mean? So but this is what the NFL needs to be. Parity. You don't want to have somebody dominating the way they're dominating. You just don't, because it doesn't make the league fun. But when you see teams vying and fighting and scrapping, nobody wants to give Tennessee the love they deserve. Tennessee's one of the best teams in the league. You know what I mean?
And they just lost Henry. They beat one of the best teams in the NFC.
And then they brought the old man in and he scored a touchdown, Adrian Peterson. Like, you know what I mean? It's I'm telling you, man, it's a great season. I'm hoping the momentum can continue. I just have fun watching the games and listening to everything that's going on. So we will pick it up next week. Let you know, give our commentary about it'll be a Browns heavy show because the Giants are not playing this week. So I am Francisco.
And I am Chef Boy Ortiz.
And we will see you folks next week. Talk to you later.
Peace.